welcome back to Milton Mo Junction, to what will be, time I put it up, the June update. And I thought before I show you what I've done this month, I would, or what I'm going to do this month, I would show you a quick roundup of the whole layout for anyone that can't remember, that's been viewing my videos from the beginning, or any new subscribers. I'll just show you what the whole railway room is about. Obviously it's a loft layout, the truss is there, a little bit of a giveaway, which I've fully insulated so it never gets too hot or too cold up here. I've put a window in and a flooring with the trapdoor to let me out, and as you can see the loft is insulated all the way around. Now the layout consists really mainly of this station, and involves 4 tracks, continuous run tracks going around the whole loft at this level, and a further track going around the loft at a higher level. In fact, the only place it's at the normal level is just behind those trees, where it disappears behind, raises up behind the back scene, comes out at the top in that corner through the raised station over there, and it's going to come round over a through a town scene, a raised town scene over there when it's built, comes round here over the canal scene on the suspension bridge, and then continues round underneath the hidden bit down here, where it drops down to the normal level again. Now I've been concentrating on the station side, which consists of 6 passenger platforms and 1 on the left side parcel platform. It's a through station, but it has 4 tracks that terminate. Obviously, as I say, most of the work has been done on this side, but there's still a lot to do, but I'm trying to finish this side before I do anything else. The main part still to do, obviously, the station buildings and the platforms. Down this end I'm just doing most of the work here now. It's just this area here against the back scene. Problem is, it all takes time, because every job you do, for instance, I've just painted the tarmac, and you want to get on with another job, but then you start messing it up because the tarmac's still wet. So very impatient I am, but you just have to do it and to get on with something else. At the moment I'm downstairs building loads and loads of bushes and trees using rubberized horsehair and is it seagrass bushes for the trees, to add to the commercially bought trees. I want to make a big area here of bushes and trees, really to cover up the train disappearing behind the back scene, and the road disappearing off out the car park there. So I want it all to blend in, so that's my next job. And then it goes down the end to the bridge. I want the bridge to be a road bridge with perhaps an accident on it to give a bit of interest. The back of it here dropping down will either be cliffs, or I'm more inclined to do a grass bank on this side and leave the cliffs for the other side. I've also got this area here to sort out, and this track here is going to curl round and eventually onto a steam heritage railway, and of course I've got the DMU here, the DMU servicing area to sort out. Once I've done all that, that'll be a complete side sorted. Then I've got the higher bit to deal with, and the platforms and stations up there. I've got to sort this DMU area out, and then of course we get onto the raised town scene here. But before I do that, I want to really sort out the helix that drops down to a lower level down here, which is my fiddle yard. And I forgot to mention that, of course. I'm not happy with the way the lines drop down to it, so I'm going to probably sort something out there. Instead of having a helix, I might have elongated slopes and curves on straights as much as possible, because I'm not happy the way the trains go up and down it, and I'll probably just cut it down to a single line going up and down. And then I've got this side. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do on this side yet. I may well put a small station here, and then of course from the top bit here dropping down, that's probably where I have a cliff face with all the lines going into the tunnels through the cliff face. This end I'll probably keep completely free of scenery, and I'll just put a cloth in front of that, black or a green cloth curtain hanging down, so that I've got easy access to it. And the idea is that you don't see a continuous circuit of trains. They're hidden for at least a short while, but easy to get at. So that's the main layout. And what I've done, I did have a little session of doing this scenery bit here, the canal, just as a break from track lane at the time, I think it was. And I wanted to get on with doing a bit of scenery, and that was the only way I could do it. And again, to stop myself getting bored with working on the same layout, I created an O gauge layout to run above it. Not only is it O gauge, it's a German O gauge layout, so it's in a 1/43 scale. And it runs along to the back there where there's a storage yard, which is surprisingly how changing scale and changing country of origin, when you get a bit fed up on one, you can jump to this and it's like a fresh breath air. It's easy to say, I need to sort that out. It's like a breath of fresh air. To do something completely different, so that's quite enjoyable, although that's taking a second back seat rather to the OO. It's something I like to do. So back to the OO gauge. As I said before, I'm just working on this, and I'll come back to that and show you what I've done a bit later. I've just started doing the next stage of the scenery around the signal box. I've put a base down and some bits of concrete. Obviously there's a lot of work still to do. It's only showing you this while I'm actually doing it, weathering, etc. But I'm quite pleased with my little wood here. That hides the track leaving the parking area, and that seems to disappear, and the trees cover up any road that would be there. And same for the railway, where that coach is, or the DMU is. You can see that that now disappears behind the trees as well. And because I've done the trees sort of up to the background and the trees in the background, you can't really see whether there'd be a railway curling round into the distance or not. I know that some of you are probably shouting at the screen. I mean, I don't know whether this is right or wrong, but I'm guessing that you probably wouldn't have a fueling point that close to all the bushes and trees. And as I said, there's probably people shouting at the screen now saying you shouldn't have that there, but I wanted a little fueling depot there, and I wanted the trees, so it had to be like that. Whether it's right or wrong prototypically, I don't know, but I'm quite happy with it. Anyway, I shall carry on with doing the scenery and show you what I've done a bit later. Okay, I've done a little bit more. I've done some scenery behind the fence and just slightly in front of it there. Put some relay boxes in and laid a little bit more of the concrete and more scenery behind the fence there, blending it in. And I've also done a bit of trunking here, cut across the tracks, put some point motors down, a bit more trunking right up there, joined it up to that piece there. So been putting it off, but I've now got to do the ballasting. I may only just do the two tracks that come round here and join up here and along there, and of course the one that goes off around the corner where that DMU is. But yeah, I'll probably do that first anyway, and then I can continue with a bit more scenery there to finish off. As I say, not particularly keen on doing ballasting, but that's got to be the next stage, so I'll see you shortly, hopefully. Okay, I've done the next stage. I managed to put it off for a little bit by creating that little wooden walkway. Excuse me, little wooden walkway there, but once I've built that and painted it and everything, stuck it down, I've had to get on with the ballasting. So as you can see, I've done a bit of ballasting there, so I'm just about to glue that and let it settle overnight, and then once that's set, I can get on finishing off some grass work around the signal box and at the edge of the car park, and some other places up there where the ballast and the greenery come together. I can sort all that out once the ballast is glued and set. So I'll come back when I've done that. Okay, well, I've completed the next stage, which was the scenery around, or the greenery should I say, around the track edge and around the signal box. So this stage has now been completed, and I've got a bit of touching up to do. Obviously the track needs weathering, but I shall probably leave that until I do the rest of the track and then hit it all in one go for the weathering. So, and that includes the slab of concrete that the signal box is on, and perhaps a bit in the car park. In fact, I went to find some bits and pieces. I know I've got a skip somewhere which I thought I'd put in the car park there, and I can't find it, which prompts me to my next project really, which is another tidy up. I can't believe it. I tidied up this railway room a few weeks ago really, but when you start working, everything gets moved around, and I leave things out that I'm working with, and then I can't find other things, so I'm going to have a major tidy up. I can't do any more really on here for the time being anyway, for a few days, because I'm waiting for some more dummy point motors and some more trunking, and I can't do the ballasting till I put those in position, and ballasting's the next thing to do. So while I'm waiting for the odds and sods, as it were, I shall get on with a bit of tidying up. So what I've decided to do is put this video up as it stands, and then perhaps do another one if I get a chance when I've done the rest of the ballasting. I mean, that may not be till next month, because as I mentioned, I'm away again for a few weeks, so we'll see how we go. But for the time being, I'll put this up. So the usual, if you've got any comments, please feel free, and if you wish to subscribe, please do so. So until the next video, bye for now.